Philistines and the Israelites were in battle. The Philistines were on one hill, the Israelites on the opposing hill, with a valley between them. A giant, nearly 10 feet tall, stepped out from the Philistines' line into the open. He had a bronze helmet on his head and was dressed in armour. His spear was like a fence rail. The spear tip alone weighed over 15 pounds. Goliath stood there and called out,
"Why bother using your whole army? Am I not Philistine enough for you? And you're all committed to Saul, aren't you? So pick your best fighter and pit him against me. If he gets the upper hand and kills me, the Philistines will all become your slaves. But if I get the upper hand and kill him, you will all become our slaves and serve us. I challenge the troops of Israel this day. Give me a man and let us fight it out together."
When Saul and his troops heard the Philistines' challenge, they were terrified and lost all hope. Each morning and evening for 40 days, Goliath made his speech. One day, Jesse told David, his younger son,
"Check in on your brother to see whether they're getting along alright, and let me know how they're doing. Saul and your brothers and all the Israelites in the war with the Philistines."
David was up at the crack of dawn and was on his way just as Jesse had directed him. He arrived at the camp just as the army was moving into battle formation, shouting the war cry. David ran to the troops who were deployed and greeted his brothers. While they were talking, Goliath stepped out from the front lines of the Philistines and gave his usual challenge, and David heard him. David, who was talking to the men standing round him, asked,
"What's in it for the man who kills that Philistine and gets rid of his ugly blot on Israel's honour? Who does he think he is? Anyway, this Philistine taunting the armies of God alive?"
They told him what everyone was saying about what the king would do for the man who killed the Philistine. Alab, his older brother, heard David and lost his temper.
"What are you doing here? Why aren't you minding your own business, tending that scrawny flock of sheep? I know what you're up to. You've come down here to see the sights, hoping for a ringside seat at a bloody battle."
"What is it with you? All I did was ask a question."
The things David was saying were picked up and reported to Saul, and Saul sent for him.
"Master, don't give up hope. I'm ready to go and fight this Philistine."
Saul said,
"You can't go and fight this Philistine. You're too young and inexperienced, and he's been at this fighting business since before you were born."
David said,
"I've been a shepherd. Whenever a lion or a bear came and took a lamb from the flock, I'd go after it, knock it down, and rescue the lamb. If it turned on me, I'd grab it by the throat, wring its neck, and kill it. Lion or bear, it made no difference. I killed it. And I'll do the same to this Philistine pig who is taunting the troops of God alive, who delivered me from the teeth of the lion, and the claws of the bear will deliver me from this Philistine."
Saul said,
"Go, and God help you."
Then Saul outfitted David as a soldier in armour. He put the bronze helmet on his head and belted his sword over him with armour. David tried to walk, but he could hardly budge.
Whoa!
David told Saul,
I can't even move with all this stuff on me. I'm not used to this."
and he took it all off. Then David took his shepherd's staff, selected 5 smooth stones from the brook, and put them in the pocket of his shepherd pack, and with his sling in his hand approached Goliath. As the Philistine paced back and forth, his shield bearer in front of him, he noticed David. He took one look down on him and sneered, a mere youngster, apple-cheeked and peach-faced.
Am I a dog that you come after me with a stick? Come on! I'll make roadkill of you for the buzzards. I'll turn you into a tasty morsel for the field mice.
"You come at me with sword and spear and battle axe. I come at you in the name of God of the angel armies, the God of Israel's troops, whom you curse and mock. This very day, God is handing you over to me. I'm about to kill you, cut off your head, and serve up your body and the bodies of your Philistine buddies to the crows and coyotes. the whole earth will know that there's an extraordinary God in Israel, and everyone gathered here will learn that God doesn't save by means of sword or spear. The battle belongs to God. He's handing you to us on a platter.
That roused the Philistine, and he started toward David. David took off from the front line, running towards the Philistine. David reached into his pocket for a stone, slung it, and hit the Philistines hard in the forehead, embedding the stone deeply. The Philistine crashed, face down in the dirt. That's how David beat the Philistines, with a sling and a stone. Hit him and killed him. No sword for David. Then David ran up to the Philistines and stood over him, pulling the giant sword from its sheath and finishing the job by cutting off his head. When the Philistines saw that their great champion was dead, they scattered, running for their lives. The men of Israel and Judah were up on their feet shouting. They chased the Philistines all the way to the outskirts of Gath and to the gates of Erechon. Wounded Philistines were strewn along the Shathan road all the way. After chasing the Philistines, the Israelites came back and looted their camp. David took the Philistines' head and brought it to Jerusalem. When Saul saw David go out to meet the Philistines, he said,
Tell me about this young man's family.